Hey, what's up, regulars out there watching? Thank you for tuning in. This is Pouring Takes. I am Charlie Van.
And I am Rayya. We are upstairs in the game room at Over Under here in the Village in Dallas, Texas. And you know what? We didn't get to do Victory Monday, so I'm just going to call today Victory Thursday. Charlie Van, how are we feeling?
Well, it is a Victory Thursday, and it's also Thirsty Thursday. By the way, we got great happy hours till 7 o'clock here tonight. That is Monday through Friday, so stop by here. So I'm feeling good because we're at Over Under here. So producer Tyler's just making sure we re-shout out because this place is great. We got a DJ tonight for Thursday night football, so definitely stop by. So I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
And you know what? We want to hear from you guys. We have so many things coming up. We'll get into our UFC event a little bit later in the show. We've got all these football things happening. We're in a fantasy football league. I'm sure you're in a fantasy football league. Join us on Discord where we can chat about all things football, sports, cocktails, and you know what? Dare us to drink something. I'll do it, but not the Malort. No.
It's not really a dare for me. I'll just drink it anyways.
Charlie has no standards when it comes to drinking. The guy would drink pure gasoline.
That is what Malort is. What are we drinking?
So tonight, like you said, happy hour specials. For me, it's a $2 off Coke and whiskey because you guys know with football season comes whiskey season for your girl. What about you, Charlie?
So football and me is beer. One of my favorite breweries, Petticola's Golden Opportunity. It's also a part of the happy hour, $2 off tonight. So really enjoy this one. Nice and crisp. And then we got our producer, Tanner, running things here. Tanner, you can shout it out. What are you drinking?
Necessary Evil.
Ooh, good one by
Beer Project.
Yep.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
I'm getting really good at this, you guys.
We're all, I feel like all these are perfect for football, not too strong, but just does it right.
Oh, no. You guys are going to get Rayya Unhinged tonight because we are drinking liquor.
All right.
Thirsty Thursday.
Made that a double.
Yeah, maybe you should have. All right. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Being here at Over Under, a
Yes.
Cowboys victory. And let's get into all the shenanigans that is Cowboys football.
Here we
It is
go.
time for Cowboys therapy.
All right. And fitting that we're on a couch.
I know. I feel very comfortable. I feel like I can really speak my mind, speak my piece here. Safe space, guys.
But this is like, on a therapy couch when you've taken advice or you've just had good experiences during the week, so you have a positive, positive therapy session.
Yeah, positive vibes only. And you know what? Let's start with the one thing that got our day off to a really good start. Dak Prescott extended 4 more years. Your quarterback, your highest paid player in the NFL to date. Charlie, how are we feeling about this?
Yeah, it was the right thing. For those that did not want Dak here, you're crazy. You are. Well,
and I was supposed to be unhinged today.
Well, here's the reason why. We talked about this during the game. And we talked about this episode 1 of this season. What's your answer? Nobody had an answer. Everybody, and the ones that thought they had it, suggestions was tank. That's never going to happen. You're taking a major cap hit. You're not going to be bad enough to be in the top of the draft, and that's a gamble too. Jerry doesn't want to gamble. With Dak that you're going to at least get the season wins. There is still a chance in those playoffs. Anything can happen. Give them the right personnel, which by re-signing CD, you already have. Let's get that run game going. But I'm happy that Dak is around. I still think they should, eventually get a quarterback behind him just because age and everything.
Totally.
But I'm happy. And he's got some extra confidence now.
Yeah, he had some swagger. You saw him walk into that arena.
Well, even in his press conferences, he's kind of like, I don't care, I'm here. Like, usually it was I've heard people talk about how he used to be very PR. Now he's just like going with it.
Well, that comes with age. The older we get, the more senile we are.
I think he was also over all the stuff. He's like, I just want to play football.
Yeah. For me, my thing going into the game was if they didn't re-sign Dak, I felt like, and I said this on the previous episode, I felt like Jerry was just going to blow this whole thing up and just start over with a new quarterback and a new coach. And this kind of gave me a little bit of faith. Yes, we didn't go all in, but Jerry made a move that he absolutely had to make in keeping Dakota to go to Dak.
Well, keeping CD too. CD is not signing that contract.
We've already had the conversation about CD. CD's young. CD has a big career. There was a lot of controversy surrounding Dak, how much we want to pay him, how long we want to keep him. Is he worth it? Is he, the playoff record speaks for itself. It's not the greatest thing in the world. But like I said in the last episode, if not Dak, then who? Yeah. This also raised a very dumb question that Tanner asked me and others asked me before the Dak signing. So I'm kind of sad we didn't get to touch on it pre-signing. But let me say this. What do you say to people who assumed that Jerry was going to go for the Prime Shedeur combo? And do you still think Prime is possible next season?
No, I don't think it was ever in the cards for him. I think it was a fun, wild, wild entertainment. Oh, have you been watching him? We'll get into him in a second.
That man cannot get good PR right now to save his life.
Well, I think Jerry is what, 80, 82, 83? He
Dead.
was not.
90.
He's not
what?
tanking. And here's the thing. He's big about season tickets, and I'm going to tell you what, everyone cares about the playoffs. Yes, but guess what? As a season ticket holder, those don't come with those season tickets. So you can't give fans season tickets, get them to come back if you have shitty seasons. And he's been able to do, and I'll say this with Dak, 3 straight consecutive seasons, going in the playoffs. We haven't had that in a long time. And I was, Tanner, you remember this. Rayya, you remember this. From 97 years, 99 to 2006, it was quarterback hell.
Yep, those were our Quincy Carter, Vinny Testaverde, Drew Bledsoe.
Plus, you could probably think Kirk Cousins coming off of Achilles, who has won less than Dak and got a huge payday. And look at Deshaun Watson, unless you're Mahomes, let's be honest, there's only one real quarterback sheriff in this town. Everything else is just luck and the personnel you can, put around.
Definitely. My take on the Prime Shedeur thing, I'm not sold on Shedeur as a prospect as of right now.
Me neither. I'm not.
So for people saying that we should tank for Shedeur, y'all need to watch some Colorado film and talk to me about it later. I do like the idea of bringing in a controversial coach like Coach Prime. If Coach Prime is able to scrub his image a little bit by the end of the college football season, I'll probably be more interested. But the controversy that's being struck up around him, his coaching style, yes, I want a coach who's going to get in somebody's ass, but I feel like getting in a college boy's ass versus a grown man's ass are two very different things.
Well, I feel like Prime is kind of like how Sirianni is right now. He claps his hands, he shouts, but what is the strategy? What is it? I think he was obviously one of the best to play his position, but just because you play doesn't mean you can go out and really coach.
No, but he was his best self when he coached high school.
Well, but those are different levels.
And even the HBCU, when he was at Jackson State, that's what propelled him to be who he is. And then he went to Colorado, and now he thinks he's the sheriff in town.
Well, and he also doesn't want to do media, which that ain't going to fly here in Dallas.
Yeah, I've seen the do not pitch list for Deion Sanders, and that there's a long list of journalists that he refuses to talk to at this point.
I have my speculation who's going to be the next head coach for the Cowboys, if it's not Mike McCarthy getting an extension. But, don't tank for anybody. You got your guy. Once again, I still feel it's smart to find someone in the later rounds, just to back, a Jordan Love situation. I think Dak's a great mentor, and so I'm excited.
Yeah, you look at Atlanta, like you said, Kirk Cousins just got that really big contract, but they have big Penix energy right behind him. So if he continues to play the way he played Sunday, they got somebody ready to go.
But are you surprised?
No, not even remotely.
Yeah, that's why that move was
also,
good.
Here's the thing, and we can touch on this with our week 1 wrap-up, but I will say Pittsburgh isn't what you're going to expect them to be. The fact that Pittsburgh was able to shut him down, play really good defense on those wide receivers, I'm not surprised that Atlanta struggled against Pittsburgh. Now, Atlanta has Philly this week.
Yeah, it's not favorable for them.
Yeah, so it's going to be really interesting to see if that offense can really gel together and those receivers can actually get open. I really expect Kyle Pitts to take a big leap forward because somebody on that team has to. Bijan's having a good year so far also, by the way.
Yeah, Bijan.
And they're going to have to rely on Bijan, whether it's Kirk Cousins or Michael Penix at quarterback. Oh,
well,
Lord
Pitts
Jesus.
can't stay healthy. That's going to be the struggle right there. So, yeah, Bijan all the way. But I wouldn't be surprised. I was listening to the fan this morning when they were talking about how about a little quarterback controversy if things aren't going well with Cousins. Already Penix.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You got big Penix energy.
Yeah, you might. But do you do it this game, second half, if things look, especially because if you lose, your season's probably in jeopardy.
I would say if you're down big to the Eagles, I have no problem putting in the rookie just to see what he's got. Maybe it sparks something. Maybe fans get more excited. I don't see anything wrong with that. You just never know. And Philly's a quality squad, so I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, and they also got the Chiefs after Philly.
Ay, Dios mío. Oy,
So we may see Penix just play. No.
All right. Putting us back on tangent, like we said, Cowboys defeating the Cleveland Browns. Final score was 33-17, 21. I
think
can't
17.
remember. I've already moved on to this week.
All
but
right.
It was a quality win.
Yeah.
Programming note here, Charlie and I do owe for our shot takes, but we're going to do a little twist this week. We're going to be posting us doing our shots on our social medias because we are going to spin the wheel of destiny.
Is it destiny or
tonight it is.
It depends. If you're me, it's the will of unfortunate. It's the unfortunate will.
You know what? Positive vibes. Manifest a good thing for yourself, Charlie Band.
As long as no Malort.
Anyway. All of that to say, Charlie and I both missed on our shot take. My shot take, thinking it was going to be the Amari Cooper revenge game, but it was actually an Amari Cooper dud game. Dang it to my fantasy teams. Charlie Van had a touchdown by Zeke, which he did get correct, but he also decided to double down and say a touchdown by Jake Ferguson, who unfortunately left the game with an injury, and we'll get into that in a little bit. So, like I said, follow us on social media. You'll see it on our TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts. We're going to spin this wheel, and we're going to do our shot take punishments. How fun is that?
Should be fun because I'm going to spin for her. She's going to spin for me.
Yeah. See, I told you,
Whose
Wheel of
luck?
Destiny.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I will cry if you make me do tequila. Anyway, all right, let's get into this win a little bit. So you walk into this game. We have all of this energy with Dak's extension, but I'm still, I was very negative in this last episode. You called me out, but I think it was fun to bust your balls a little bit. But, I was really concerned with the offense. I knew the defense was going to be fine, but I wasn't sure how we were going to move the ball. How great did Ezekiel Elliott look to you on Sunday?
Perfect. I mean, the first drive, he hurdles. We haven't seen that since 2016.
He came out with some fire up his bum.
It sucks that there was a holding call, but, I mean, he looked good. I mean, good for what he needs to be. Like, is he 2016? No, but I liked what I saw.
Yeah, me too.
He's also so happy. He's happy to be back.
He's reunited with his family.
Yeah.
He's where he's
Uncle
supposed
Zeke.
to be. He looks good. Like, he's in shape.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
The only thing we want him eating are yards and touchdowns, and that's fine. And he did a great job of that on Sunday. What else about this offense made you more comfortable with us moving forward?
O-line. The
Yeah.
rookies looked well. It was
They looked
BB
well?
there was no pressures from the defense. BB let no pressures on the quarterback, which is great. I mean, he plays like he's been in the league for 15 years. And Guyton had there was a little calls here and there, but he looked good too. Like, I mean, that guy's just such a beast, 6'8".
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was also impressed with how Dak was spreading the ball around. He didn't really force it to CD as much as I assumed he would. It was nice to see Brandon Cooks get a touchdown. Add that to your shot take list. Gosh, darn.
Well, and I said Cooks, God darn it, yeah. He ought to.
Not here.
Well, we were talking about that last week, how I do believe Cooks will be more in the mix. They realized they should have utilized him earlier last year. I mean, he's fast. He's under the radar. There was a perfect pass. I did see some people kind of team up, some commentators, radio, like talk about how Dak didn't have the best second half. But
Did he need to?
No. I think the game spoke for itself. I mean, Dak went in there with all the confidence in the world, which he always is, but he was a paid man, and I think that motivated him.
Yeah, I think so too. And then on the defensive side of the ball, great job by our front seven getting, 6 sacks in the game, 2 picks, one by Trayvon Diggs, back to his old self. So it was good to see that for sure.
Yeah.
And holding that offense down.
Oh.
Like I said, Amari Cooper had a dud, not a stud game.
Well, and that was my concern was like Myles Garrett, or no, I'm sorry, not Myles Garrett. Amari Cooper,
Amari Cooper,
but
Jerome
also the
Ford.
run game. Even though they lost Chubb, like they're so good at finding a way to utilize the run. Now, of course, they don't have Kareem Hunt back, but they could not get that run. They could not run that ball, and that's kudos to the Zimmer defense, which it looks so sharp.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everything kind of just flowed into place, and we were on the road. Weather was good. Did you take away any concerns from Sunday?
I mean, I think if you had a nitpick about the second half, like just really keeping up that standard of, more attacking, but I think they were just being more smart. I think it's the game one. Obviously losing Ferguson a little bit, but luckily we have, how about Turpin? We forgot about that return.
Oh, yeah,
touchdown
the punt return, yeah.
We have enough wide receiver depth right now that I'm confident in, but still you want to have a guy like that. But I gave it an A.
Yeah, it was pretty surprising. And let me ask you this. I don't know, you and I were together at the game, and they did play the sound in the bar, but did you take away anything from Tom Brady's broadcasting debut?
No.
Tanner's shaking his head very vigorously right now.
It wasn't, and I had a text on this, and sorry, Brady, but, you have many games to get there, but not a very, the most commanding presence. Maybe that can develop out of time, but definitely you could see the greenness in that. The mind's there, just the delivery, it's got a little bit more time to work on that.
For sure. So let's wrap up week one. Are there any other notes, maybe fantasy notes, or any games that stood out to you in week one that you want to bring up?
Well, Ravens Chief was a hell of a game.
Yeah.
Right down to the wire. Should have been, the Ravens game. I have Ravens.
A fantasy question based off of your answer.
Yeah.
And Tanner, I want to hear your answer to this too. So, the Ravens typically are known for going to their tight end, Mark Andrews.
I know.
Who broke his leg last season, played his first game back. And Isaiah Likely, tight end 2, was the star, the darling for the Ravens. How do you see that trend for fantasy football? Do you see Isaiah taking those starter snaps? Are we going to see him get those receptions again, or is it just going to be a flash in the pan and we're going to see more out of Mark Andrews?
Well, as someone who has Mark Andrews on his lineup, I sure hell hope not, but I think likely he definitely proved himself. But I think too, there was some strategy behind that too. Mark's the guy. Also, like you said, first really regular season game back. I think he played briefly in that AFC Championship, but don't force him. It's a long season. He was a little bit older. I still think Andrews is the guy, but heck, if you can have a dual threat at tight end like that, utilize it.
So we have 2 flex positions in our league.
Yep.
I'm going to start Likely this. Because, I have him.
That would be a likely move to do.
I have him, not you. I have him. What about you? What do you think, Tanner?
I take Likely.
You like Likely?
I like Likely. He's got it right in the name.
Likely to do well in fantasy.
It's funny. You had Likely, and then on the other side, the star of the game, Xavier Worthy.
Oh, geez Louise.
Yeah. And a lot of people put him on the bench because they didn't know. Because you have Rashid Rice, but heck, man, that guy can run his first play,
okay,
drive.
But, somebody brought this up to me shortly after the game and was like, Rayya, Andy Reid is coaching. Think about who he's coached. Deshaun Jackson, Tyreek Hill, all similar to Xavier Worthy. Why wouldn't he use him in the exact same way?
And he's your first-round draft pick. He knows how to use receivers well, and that's why that team.
Not just receivers. This is specifically a speed guy.
Well, yes, that too.
Because he scored a touchdown off a handoff, and he caught a pass. Am I not wrong?
They're just happy they don't have Kadarius Toney.
Nobody wants that guy. And then the other game that stood out to me was the Sunday night matchup between the Rams and the Lions. As good as advertised, went into overtime with the Lions pulling out the win over the Rams.
I think this is one of the better out-of-division rivalries. It feels like it's a division game. Just the tension, Stafford returning again.
Well,
Obviously,
they were a playoff matchup last year.
Oh, it was great. It was a really great game. And now into overtime, Rams do look like one of the top teams to beat in the NFC right now.
How big of a surprise was that Bengals loss?
It was really surprising, and that's not to take anything away from the Patriots and Gerard Mayo, but I really expected a lot more, especially healthy Burrow. But they do have a tendency to start off. They're one of the few 0-2 type teams that can put it together, but I don't know. Something feels different about this.
Yeah, something feels really sketchy and really shady up in Cincinnati.
The whole Jamar Chase thing doesn't help either.
Yeah, and T. Higgins also out, and fans are claiming he faked his injury, so he didn't have to play. So lots of controversy at wide receiver up in Cincinnati. So we'll just have to see how that unfolds over the next few weeks.
Well, and I think losing Mixon was a huge loss too. I mean, nothing against Zach Moss, but I would love to have a guy. Mixon went off. Thank you. 32 points.
I was going to say that was one of the games
he was
we
mixing
watched.
it up.
Colts and Texans drank. Colts and Texans also putting on a show. Slow start to that game, ended up pulling up that win. Texans are a really exciting team to keep on your radars for sure, right?
Oh, for sure. Well, they showed that last year, and I mean they went all in. Obviously, we talked about Diggs being added, Mixon as well. Nico Collins is there.
Nico had a great game.
Tank Dell's back, and Stroud he's just so confident and comfortable. For someone that had a lot of question marks coming into his pro career. Yeah.
Ooh, they're playing
So
Creed.
they're playing Creed, speaking of.
I feel like
Creed was here last night in Dallas.
We have to stand and observe our new national anthem.
I know. Well, at least with the Rangers. Hey, I think the Rangers brought them back.
Agreed. Absolutely.
Are you going to sing it? Or are you going to sing?
No, we're not going to sing. But
maybe tomorrow night at karaoke.
One last week one note for you. Monday Night Football, how disappointed were you in the Jets' performance? Or was that fully expected?
Well, I thought it'd be a lot more competitive, especially with McCaffrey out, but Mason looked great.
Shout out Jordan Mason.
They have a dual threat.
Did you see my matchup in fantasy? So Tara had the #1 pick, and she chose CMC. And then found out CMC's not playing, and she's a smart girl, so she grabs Jordan Mason. She loses to me by less than 1/4 of a point.
Wow. Well, that was smart. I mean, it started off a little shaky, but once again, that could have been just being the first game. But, man, once the Niners adjusted and Rodgers is flailing around out there, they had no answer.
No, they did not. I think the only, highlight from that game is when they scored a touchdown on a free play because that's just what Aaron Rodgers does.
Yeah, I mean, the Niners look scary, but they've looked scary at the beginning of last year, too, against the Steelers. And, I mean, if now they have a threat now in Mason, oh, man. Because I always thought CMC without him,
Okay. Well, that is a wrap on week 1. Let's move into week 2. Let's start with this. Cowboys and Saints playing at noon here at Jerry World. I believe we are 4.5-point favorites. I have this written down. 6-point favorites. My bad. 6 whole points. How do you feel about that spread? Doable? A little too generous? What are you thinking?
I mean, I think it's doable, but I wouldn't overestimate, the Saints. I know they beat Carolina.
They just put up nearly 50 points against Carolina.
Well, I mean, Carolina looks like they're going to be number 1 or 2 again in the draft. But still, I mean, if they can get the run game going, see, that's the one thing Browns couldn't do. We'll see how that goes, especially with Mozzie, but we're way better at home.
Yeah, I'm worried about Alvin Kamara putting up big numbers against us next week, but I still don't think that's going to be enough.
I don't think Derek Carr gets it done.
I was going to say we have too many weapons on defense. As long as we force Derek Carr to have to throw the ball, even if it is to Alvin Kamara, I trust our defense.
We've done a bad job here. We forgot to name another stand-up from the game who I'm expecting to have a big day. That is Mr. Kalen Carson, 21. He looked great.
Yes, he did.
So, and I think he could get a pick there. Carr likes to throw him around.
Yeah, I definitely think, Derek Carr will have a game where he'll throw 0 picks or he'll throw 4. There's no in between.
Diggs got a pick too.
I did say that.
Oh, okay,
I did call
sorry.
that out. Trayvon Diggs looking in old form. Yeah, I
Yeah.
said all of that. Play back the tape.
My brain.
No, I agree with you. And then offensively, I just think we're going to shred them on defense. I'm not concerned. I'm not worried.
How many sacks?
This is the opposite of me last week. Last week, I'm crying and depressed, and I'm yelling mean things at you. And this week,
That's every week.
This week, I'm very calm. I'm very demure this week, okay? I'm very mindful.
So is it going to shout out to our friend Abby, who beat me, by the way, in
Abby.
fantasy. Will this be sack Facts in the City time for Micah Parsons.
I hope so. Micah
Yeah.
Parsons really needs to put together a legitimate defensive player of the year campaign. Now that Aaron Donaldson's out of league, and
Yeah.
you saw the difference that TJ Watt made in that game against the Falcons, I need Micah Parsons to match the energy. I really want it to be like the end of the season, and people can't choose between TJ Watt and Micah Parsons for defensive player of the year. He
Yeah.
is due,
Oh yeah, no, I think.
and he's up for an extension.
Well, yeah, and he seems more mature and confident. I love what I'm hearing post press conference too. I think he did a lot of like soul searching and advising, and they know they need him.
Yeah, I agree with you. And he's really a leader on this defense. And I think Mike Zimmer's putting him in a position to lead this defense. So after week 1, I'm good with it.
Well, and,
we'll see.
the silent leader, what the defense says, is Eric Kendricks.
Yeah, he's sneaky good. He still got it.
I like that. We need it. This may end up being a top 3 or 4 defense, I think, under
Ooh,
Zimmer.
you are very confident, my friend.
Well, we'll see what happens. But I feel good what I'm seeing. I know it's early, but Zimmer is a great defensive mind.
It's so easy to be this optimistic so early in a season. Isn't it lovely? Isn't this such a lovely feeling?
It's fun. Yeah, it's the first. Well, week 2 is when we all find out things.
Right? Now we're going to play at home against a team that gives me trap game vibes. Like I said, it's a 6-point spread. I'm going to go with, I don't think we cover. I think it's going to be tight. I think we're going to win, but I don't think we cover. I think we usually sleepwalk at noon.
Yeah.
Like we never come out firing on all cylinders at noon. I can see this being a 3.5, 4-point-ish game. I should say 3 or 4-point game. What am I talking about? I'm not making the lines.
I do agree. Like, I just think 6 points. Like, I don't think it's too generous, but I mean, hey, Derek Carr has made our Thanksgiving bad before, and I think with the run game, I think that's why it's going to be interesting, and because we haven't been tested there yet. So, and there are questions about Mozzie because he has to really have a big season, otherwise, it's not going to look too pretty.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is we both got a Cowboys win. Tanner.
I'll be the villain.
Tanner's going to be the villain. Tanner's going to go with the Saints.
Tanner's
Let
going to
the
go
good
Saints,
times
but we
roll.
beat the Ravens because we always beat the teams we shouldn't. And we play the Ravens at home.
That is a problem for a later
Yes.
day. Okay, what is going to be your shot take for this game?
I'm going to go defense. I'm going to go Diggs gets a pick, and Parsons gets at least 2 sacks.
All right, I am going to go offense. I think, God, I feel so basic saying this. I want to like take the field here or something. I'm trying to figure out what the best way to word this is. I know CeeDee Lamb is probably going to have 1 touchdown. That is my gut feeling. I also think that Zeke will have 1 touchdown. But I want to like pick one of these other guys, whether it's Rico maybe. Rico might sneak in a touchdown.
Trying to get strategic.
I know. I'm. Like
She's on the
really-
clock.
I'm really thinking about this. I'm thinking
Tanner's
about this
like, yeah, she is.
long and hard over here.
That's offensive. Maybe Turpin. 71, a 70-year-old.
Oh my God! Had he been able to try,
I know. All right, what is it? What's the
I'm gonna
take?
say a touchdown will be scored. 3 touchdowns will be scored by 3 different wide receivers. How about that? Or
So-
3 different ball catchers.
Well, that could also be a running back.
Yeah.
Oh, you're just giving it vague. You're keeping it.
Okay, fine. 3 different receivers.
All right,
Not
there
running,
you
don't
go.
count running backs.
There you go.
When I said ball catchers, I meant wide receiver or tight end.
Well-
but we don't really have a tight end right now.
No. I mean, Schoonmaker, but he blocks.
Oh my God! What if like Lipskin? What's his name?
Hunter Lipke? Lipskin?
Lip-
Hunter Lipke?
Lipke. There we go. What if he gets in for a touchdown? That'd be dope.
He could. But you said receivers. There we go.
All right, that is our shot takes. Okay, cruising along here into week 2. We've got some interesting matchups. Let's touch on this one first. Right there on the TVs behind Tanner right now, we are about to kick off for Thursday Night Football.
Hell yeah.
Dolphins and Bills, and we kind of gave our hot takes already on Instagram, so if you're not following us there, you should, because that's where we drop all the juicy stuff. But anyway, looking at this matchup, it's a divisional game. It's a Thursday night, short week. We got already injuries out there. Bills coming off a less than desirable performance last week. Miami had a close one of their own. What is your take on this game tonight?
Man, it's a good one. I mean, these two, I've always loved watching them. It is early in the season. It is in Miami. I do favor the Dolphins. I think it will be a little bit closer, but I'm glad that Unchain is playing because they've been hurt at running back. But
I have him on all 3 of my fantasy teams.
But I think also Dolphins defense put more pressure on the Bills. I mean, we're going to see what Keon Coleman can do tonight, but obviously not having Diggs, there's that question mark.
So I got 2 points for you. Let me start with this one. They flashed the weather up here not too long ago, and looks like they're going to be thunderstorms tonight in Miami. So that says they're going to be running the football. So, yeah, I do expect to see a Chan a lot, as well as the rookie latest draft pick, Jalen Wright.
Yeah.
Get to see what he has. Miami also has Jeff Wilson on the roster, but I'm not too crazy about him. But there's a lot of talk about this new kid, Jalen Wright, and what he can bring to the table. So I'm hoping to see maybe like 10 touches from him tonight.
That would be the right move.
Drink. God.
Hey,
Anyway,
there's nothing wrong about that.
my drink. My second take on this game is Poyer. Poyer used to be a DB over in Buffalo Land, and now is a Dolphin. He's got a good porpoise with this team.
You drink. I mean, we didn't get a Amari Cooper revenge game. Will we get a Poyer? I mean, but I do think he's a big piece to that, and I'm interested to see this defense. I mean, the analysis last week with Josh Allen, obviously he had to carry a lot of that victory. It's not going to be easy in Miami.
Nope, it's not. Tanner's like really fully jamming.
Man, yeah,
because
Taking Back Sunday's playing. Make damn sure.
Save it for karaoke tomorrow.
All right.
But yeah, so I think we all talked about this when we did the Instagram post. We're all on board with the fins to the left, fins to the right.
We're flipping out here.
TDs for everybody because their mascot's name is TD.
As long as they don't flip. There you go.
Yes, we need more
You
alcohol.
drink, Tanner.
We need more alcohol for this.
Oh, man, he already blew through his beer.
That's not a bad thing.
Nope. Yeah. So luckily there is a bar outside here, by the way. If you come, beautiful balcony patio here at
get to see Tanner
Over Under. I will take another golden opportunity, my good sir.
Thank you, Tanner.
Shout out again, Petacolos. Real quick.
Yes.
Since we didn't shout in the beginning, I mean, I'm just going to throw it out there. Tonight, Thursday night, obviously, football. There's the DJs that come out Monday night, Thursday night. Tuesday now for trivia is 7 to 9, has moved to 7 to 9. And Wednesday's karaoke. Speaking of karaoke.
Oh, wow.
They are planning Fridays to have rooftop parties here at Over Under. That's going to be great. Now that we're getting into nicer weather.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I'm wearing my favorite combo outfit. I love wearing shorts and a long sleeve shirt. I don't know why I like that so much, but 'tis the season.
And you know what was so much fun this Saturday? I was here for the UT watch party.
Yeah.
This is, and their partner now is Still Austin. Great whiskey there, which we've featured on the show back in April. And then Saturday, October 28th, Oktoberfest, Rayya.
We're doing Oktoberfest.
Are you going to do the
Lord.
Stein? Are you going to where you hold out your hand for a while?
I guess
Stein?
if I start working out now,
just
then
one
I should
arm,
be
whatever
good to,
arm you're going to use, your best arm.
Yeah, but it's got to be the forearm grippy thingy. That's what you got to work out. Okay, I should probably not do
Those
that on
aren't
camera.
Yeah, well, there you go. All right, so
let's get back on track here. Let's make some quick picks for week 2. Going down the schedule, there are a couple interesting matchups. New England was very surprising last week. They have Seattle.
Yeah, I like Seattle. I mean, I just think, the Bengals, it's just one of those dud games for him. But, I mean, Seattle's good enough for a team against like the Patriots.
Well, they are playing in Patriot Land, and Seattle is only favored by 3.5. So I expect this one to be a close one. Very defensive
I'll
first,
take that.
defensive focused. I'm going to also agree with you. I think Seattle should win, but wouldn't be surprised if Coach Jared Mayo does some wild stuff.
NFC East could get interesting if the Patriots win that game.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, to start off. They can definitely mix that up there.
Yeah. Okay, what about our division rivals facing off?
Thank you, Tanner.
We got Giants and Commanders.
Oh, Commanders. Giants right now look like, I mean, just
Absolute
lifeless.
disarray.
I mean, Daniel Jones, atrocious. Getting rid of Saquon's probably going to be the biggest franchise dumb thing they've ever done.
Thank you.
Or any of team has done. So, yeah, no, I think the Commanders will command this game. Okay, I'm going to drink.
Oh, Lord. We are just on a roll. All right. I'm going to go against you. I think DJ has to prove himself. I think Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes has to win, or they are going to bench him for Tommy Cutlets. They are ready.
They're definitely going to. I saw a, what is it? Oh, shoot. Don't win for Quinn Ewers.
Yeah, I just think it makes no sense to continue playing with him if he can't show any glimmer of hope that he's the player that signed that extension.
And that would be one of the worst contract extensions I've seen.
I would just try to quit while you're ahead at that point. Moving down the list. Chicago and Houston.
Ooh.
That's your Sunday night football matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Houston's favored by 6, kind of like us.
Yeah.
They're playing in Houston. Oh, my God. What is Mikey McDick's? Oh,
Yeah, here we
Lord.
go. We got the game on. It's starting underway. Man, Houston, Chicago. Bears D looks good. Caleb was struggling.
Yeah.
And this is a defense you can't struggle against. We'll see if he can get it together. I like Houston's chances here. I think I just think the experience, that they have more talent. And also, Rome, he's hurt too. He's got a sprain.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, this does not look good for the Bears. Kudos to their defense, but that I would take Houston's offense over that defense.
One thing we didn't really touch on was Jordan Love's injury.
Yes.
Jordan Love,
MCL too.
MCL as well, just like our buddy Fergie Fresh.
And Rome.
And Rome. MCL just is the COVID.
Last year was Achilles. This year's MCL. What's going to be next year? I don't know.
We don't need to worry about that right now. You only get that when you're dead.
That is not a laughing matter.
Tanner's dying. I wish we had a producer cam for this moment.
Well, hopefully they now have, what is it, helmet guards or whatever? Hopefully
Guardian caps.
Guardian caps. Those are a good thing.
So on the heels of Jordan Love being out for a few weeks, looks like we're going to see Malik Willis at quarterback for the Green Bay Packers.
Ryan Tannehill.
Who play Indianapolis
Shouldn't
this week.
do that on camera either.
Oh, my gosh. If I have to hear about Ryan Tannehill
Or our friend
one
Rob.
more time.
Sorry,
Poor
Rob.
Well, we got to see him on Sunday, so
I
that's
know.
good. But, yeah, how do we expect Malik Willis to perform on a new team in a new situation? He does have more weapons between A.J. Dillon, Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs.
Yeah, but he still had, like, D-Hop play. I don't know. I'm going to be like that weatherman in Family Guy. Not good. I just don't know, like, if you're sitting there, Packers fan, Packers Nation, you're like, oh, this is great.
You missed him.
Especially with if you look at the Packers' upcoming schedule, it is not easy.
Yeah, that's a tough division that you're playing. I mean, we talked about it when we previewed the division that it could go either way. It looks like right now Detroit has the upper hand there. Last matchup, Monday Night Football, only calling this out because we did touch on it earlier. Falcons and Eagles, the Battle of the Birds in Philly, Monday Night Football. What are you expecting to see out of that? I know Philly will probably take this win, but what adjustments are you looking for Atlanta to make coming off of that game against Pittsburgh?
I still, my questions and going into week one, still their Eagles defense. I saw it was a very offensive game.
Oh, did you see
wow.
that?
Here's a pick by the Bills right off
I thought it hit the floor.
Yeah.
I thought it hit the ground. Hold
Not
on,
a good way. Tua. Hawk Tua.
I have a note about this.
That's why I said it. That makes sense.
She has a podcast
now
called Tua Talk.
Yep. She should have Tua.
It's called
Hawk
Talk
Tu-
Tua.
yeah.
Talk Tua.
That's actually a good. I
Okay,
like the
so
pun.
Tua, back deep to throw. He is looking for, I think it's Braxton Bear. No, not Braxton. Who's 9? Who is
Oh,
that?
it just bounced right
It
off
bounced off his hands
He
and into
beamed
the-
the player.
So who did he throw to?
I don't know, but he beamed the player. Look, he beams him. Oh,
Who's 88?
Oh, I don't know, but whoever it is. Oh, Agba.
No, Agba's a defensive player.
No, sorry.
I
Well,
don't
he's
know, but
not
that was-
defensive. He's
That was bad luck.
yeah,
But this
hit him
is-
right off.
This is the shit the Dolphins do when they play the
I
Bills.
know. They're already
There's Dalton Kincaid. Wow.
mother flipper.
Drink. All right.
I mean, I think they got to get the run game. At least that. I mean, I don't know. It's tough because if Kirk, it's going to all come on Kirk here.
Yeah, I would really like to see Bijan do his thing. Like we've talked about, the Eagles' defense, DBs are still kind of in flux. So maybe taking some shots to a Drake London or a Kyle Pitts wouldn't hurt either. And like I said, if Philly's up big at the half, don't be surprised if Michael Penix comes in.
Here's my actual take. Actually, it's more on their defense. We saw in that Packers game that, I mean, Hurts is now turnover prone. So you put that pressure on. I don't know if Atlanta has
I
a
would
strong
totally
defense
put that
like
pressure on Jalen Hurts anytime, anywhere.
You drink. You were waiting for that. It's in our notes.
Yeah, if we flip this around, it'll be like a girl's journal, Mrs.
Yeah,
Rayya.
this is what I have to deal with, guys and gals.
No.
Um,
Thank you, Tanner.
but yeah,
has
I
great
mean,
taste.
but also forcing that ball over. But yeah, get the run game going.
All right, let's shift gears. We've been on football for God knows how many minutes, but we have a really, 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 really important event happening this Saturday. Guys, girls, regulars, we have arrived at UFC 306, a.k.a. the Fight at the Sphere in Las Vegas. We have been waiting for Noche de UFC forever.
Yeah, it was talked about it like a year ago. And obviously it just opened up last fall or end of summer. It's one time. This is the only time they're planning to do it. I think just super expensive.
It is really, really expensive, and Dana White has made sure to make this event a spectacle. It's kind of showing his gratitude, or should I say the UFC's gratitude, to Mexico and the fight culture within. And what's really crazy is that they're going to be rivaling
Canelo.
boxing with Canelo. So it is like combat sports fiesta night.
But it's not the first time he's done that as far as a Canelo fight. But yes, but for that weekend, that is huge. I mean, the card is stacked.
With Mexican fighters
Yes.
specifically. And we'll get into the fights themselves, but let me talk to you a little bit about the happenings at the Sphere. So we've been looking at this for a long time. We know tickets are starting in the thousands to get in. It is going to be a digital spectacle.
Yeah.
So what they're going to have for the first time is you are going to be able to see live stats of the fight projected on the Sphere itself, like as the fight is happening, which is not something conventionally done in combat sports. So that's going to be something to look forward to. And then they have created kind of like a short film that they're going to show in 90-second increments over the course of the night. So like between fights with the fighter packages, and it's going to tell the story of like fighting in Mexico. It's going to be like a love letter to the country of Mexico. And I'm excited about that.
No, that's awesome. I mean, I everything that I've seen leading up so far on the countdowns, it's super cool. You don't want to miss it. It is a one-time only event, and I just have a great feeling that all the fights are going to deliver the passion, and it's some good matchups to make sure that they deliver.
So for those of you wondering, hey, this sounds like a really cool thing to watch, but I don't feel like dropping almost $100 in pay-per-view money on it to watch it at home. We got a solution for you.
If you live in Dallas, by the
If
way.
you live in
we just want to
Dallas,
put that out. We won't fly you in, but
We are going to be at one of our favorite spots, Maple Landing, out here by Love Field Airport, this Saturday, starting at 7 o'clock. We have a room reserved with 3 TVs, sound on, great food, great drink specials. I mean, you hinted at Still Austin earlier. get yourself a glass of Still Austin for $6.
Heck yeah. Great old-fashioned there. Yeah, no, we're excited. We're always appreciative of Maple Landing and the hospitality.
They take such good care of us.
They do.
I went for UFC 300. I did a girls' night. I had 10 of my girlfriends, and they booked us the table. They had attention on us at all times. They made sure that nothing awkward or weird was happening because, you know, how sometimes UFC fans can be. But they took really, really good care of us.
Well, and the food, Tanner, you can test the brisket is.
Oh, the poutine, the brisket poutine.
Yes, it's so good.
Guys, I have a food hack for you there.
All right.
Get the brisket poutine and a side of mac and cheese and mix the two and thank me later.
That's going to be Saturday night
yeah.
then.
Tanner is like air thrusting right now.
Oh, he had James Cook. That
Yeah,
makes
touchdown
sense.
James Cook for
Speaking
Buffalo.
of food, he's cooking. All
Let
right.
him cook. Anyway, but yes, if you're looking for a place to watch the fight, everyone is welcome. We are so excited to be hosting a watch party.
Yeah. Oh, it's our first time. We hope to do more of these, but we definitely had to do it for UFC 306, just how big it is.
And we'll check in on our socials. We'll make some content. We'll show you what we're eating, what we're drinking,
We might
who's
have
with
some
us.
fighters there with us.
Yeah, I was about to say it. We might have some special guests. So we'll see how it all shakes out. Again, this is at Maple Landing out by Love Field starting around 7 o'clock. If you have any questions, reach out to us on any of our social handles. We respond really fast. All right, let's get into the fights themselves. Like you said, it's a lot of Mexican fighters. Let us start. I'm going to start with the featured prelim bout. Oh, no, actually, I'm going to start with the first fight of the night. You've got Raul Rosas Jr. versus a Chinese fighter whose name I can't say. But I want to talk about Raul Rosas Jr. You and I had the chance to bump into him at the Fury fights a few months ago. When was that?
August 2nd.
So about a month ago.
Yeah.
There we go. Super nice guy, big
Yeah.
family. Everybody is a fighter, by the way.
I know. All of his brothers, his sister, his little sister, I think, is a fighter.
Family's super nice. He is the youngest person on the UFC roster at this time. Are you looking for him to open this night with a bang?
Oh, for sure. He just made an announcement that he wants to be the youngest champion. He wants to retire at 25. So to do that, definitely got to, win Saturday. But yeah, I mean, he's already. I love his energy. To be like what now? He's like 18, 19.
19, I think.
Yeah, 19 now, and have all that confidence and pretty well rounded. I mean, still there's. More of the journey we need to see, but I'm excited. I definitely think he's already a crazy personality.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to continue watching him fight. He's very creative, and I think this just shows like this new generation of fighters. Everyone's ambidextrous. People are more invested in their ground game than they used to be, and especially with someone of Mexican descent. Mexican fighters are typically really great boxers. This kid is very well-rounded.
Well, he's lanky, too. He uses his range really well, just like Sean O'Malley. And, historically, usually with a lot of bantamweights, a lot of them are shorter, stout, a lot of them wrestlers. Having that length like that, it helps with the strike, and it helps with taking the back, which he's great at, and he's got a lot of wins.
Yep.
Submission.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching him do his thing. Now, scrolling through it, I'm only going to highlight a few of these because we are short on time. But again, this card is absolutely stacked. Let's talk the featured prelim.
Let's go.
Girl fight, my favorite thing. You've got Irene Aldana and Norma Dumont. Big bantamweight matchup. Irene Aldana has challenged for the belt, and she did lose. And Norma Dumont has been on the up and coming. Both of those women, by the way, have fought our friend Macy.
Yep. Yes, they have. This is a scrap because bantamweight division is pretty much open. We'll have Raquel and Juliana next month, early next month.
October 5th.
Caitlin Harris is in the division now, waiting in the wings as
Kayla
well.
Harris is
Caitlin
also.
Vera.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's fighting Ketlin on that.
Or Caitlin Vera, yeah.
On that card in October as well. So there's a lot of moving pieces, moving and shaking happening in the bantamweight division. And this could put one of those two women back in that full-on contender status.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. No, I mean, you're right there. Once Amanda left, it just opened that door.
I mean, for me, because it's Mexican Independence Day, I fully expect Irene Aldana. There we go. Irene Aldana to take this. She is the higher-ranked fighter. I believe she is favored. Yeah. Oh, it's a pick'em. They're even.
Yeah, I see it's a pick. Norman, she can press
I would like
forward.
to see Norma win just to mix it up.
I think it's going to be close. I'm going to say this is going to be a possible split decision.
As most girl fights are, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't look at this one and be like, oh, it's a girly banger. No, it's not. This is going to be an absolute grind of a fight. And I think as like a tactician person myself,
I was going to say,
I'm going to be nerding out the entire time.
It's going to be a chess game.
Yeah. For sure. All right, scrolling. Let's talk about Brian Ortega and Diego Lopez. This fight was supposed to happen on another pay-per-view card, but Brian Ortega got sick from his weight cut because they talked about moving it to 155. Right now, it is scheduled at 145. That could change. You've got kind of, I don't want to call Brian Ortega a gatekeeper. I think he's a perennial contender. Because he keeps beating people. It's not like he's taken any major losses, but you have this up-and-coming star in Diego Lopez. How do you see this one shaking out?
Yeah, well, I hope it stays at 145 because this is a potential contender fight right here. And I don't see Brian as a gatekeeper at all. He came back and was able to beat Yair Rodriguez. He's had injuries. He's had some unfortunate. But
He's
when
been
Brian
through a lot of mental stuff
he's
too.
the best grappler, I would say, at 145. Nasty guillotine.
I was going to say, he's one that can guillotine me anytime, anywhere.
All right, you got a drink.
I know, I'm disgusting.
Sexual Thursday.
I told you you were going to get Rayya Unhinged tonight.
There we
the
go.
whiskey.
But Diego looks so good, and I think this could, I remember Ortega upsetting Frankie Edgar. I could see Diego doing this. He's got the striking, he's got the grappling, he's just so quick. And I think because Brian is big and has that weight cut, he'll not have the speed. He's going to look for the choke, but Diego's a good grappler too.
I will say I've been very impressed with Ortega's boxing over the last few years. I think that's something he's really made a focus point and part of it in his training camp. We saw him knock someone out with an uppercut. His boxing is so much more crisp than it used to be. I expect this to be staying on the feet. And I also think this is going to be a grinder of a fight. I don't think either one of these guys, obviously nobody wants to lose, but I don't think any of these guys have plans on getting knocked out either.
It's too bad it's not a 5-round fight.
I would love this to be a 5-round
this
fight.
This definitely could be a co-main event on any other card. Definitely a fight night main event. But I got Diego.
I'm going to go Ortega. Ortega. Yeah, that's going to be my take. You know what? Let's make a shot bet on this one too. Since we're not
all right,
agreeing.
we'll do
it. We're not agreeing. Let's add it to the list.
We'll do it. Yeah.
Let's do it, and we'll be together. So we can pay off our shots in person.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Well, yeah, let's do it.
Okay, moving on. Your co-main event for the flyweight title in the trilogy, might I add. Alexa Grasso representing Mexico against Valentina Shevchenko representing my heart. She's my favorite fighter in the whole world. Again, third time they fought. Alexa won the first one. Second one was kind of a draw.
Yeah.
This is it. This is for all the marbles. They've faced off on Ultimate Fighter.
Which was, they both did a superb job as coaches.
They are such. I don't even know how to explain it. Watching them fight, I feel like I learned so much from those women.
Well, their styles. Valentina, the challenger, former champion, great Muay Thai. Alexa has a boxing background and grappling. Both fare well on the ground. So I'm so excited, and I think this is going to be another banger.
They are going to be slanging and banging.
Yeah. I see this going the distance. I really do. I think
this is going to be, to me in my head, this is reminiscent of when Weili fought Joanna. This is going to be the banger of all bangers. And
well, the first time they fought. Second time, Weili knocked her out with a spinning back kick.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the one that won fight of the year.
Oh,
that's the moment I'm thinking
Gianna's
this is going to be. She turned her into an alien.
Yeah. That was a great fight.
But, Alexa's style doesn't fit Valentina at all. And I think this is why Valentina struggles with Alexa specifically. I'm curious. Say Alexa wins this one. and Alexa goes on and defends against whoever's up next. Let's say it's Marianne Ferro, for example.
Most likely, yeah.
And Marianne beats her.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think Valentina can take Marianne?
Stylistically, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think, styles makes fights. Marianne would play into that. She's a little unorthodox, awkward at times, pressured. I think a big reason why Alexa is because of her boxing.
Yep.
Boxing, the accuracy, and the timing.
I agree. And I think in the flyweight, in women's fighting in general, boxing isn't as crisp as the males. Women do a lot of jiu-jitsu, which I'm not complaining about. Women will take you down, hold you up against the cage. I mean, that's what we're taught to do. I mean, when I went through my fight camps, I learned how to cage wrestle. I was a better cage wrestler than I was at anything else at one point. Like, that's just the style of women's fighting, but it's good to see these women that want to, like, fully stand and bang. Ooh, what just happened
Was that another turnover by the Bills? Oh, there's a flag, though.
There's a flag down, but he got in that backfield and swiped that
Can
ball.
I throw a wild card?
Well, you are the wild card.
I am the wild card. Weili goes up after her next defense.
Depends. I think Weili's only interested if she gets Valentina. Weili is always
I don't know.
to
If
fight
Grasso
Valentina.
beats Valentina again, that would be 2-1. I would be intrigued with that.
But they've been teasing us with a Weili-Valentina super fight for years.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
mean,
we want.
I don't hate it, but
I'm not getting a lady boner for Weili and Alexa.
But
I'm
what's
just not.
left for really right now with Weili at 115? Because the one person who could go either way at 125 is Tatiana Suarez if she can stay healthy.
I also think Weili's just not interested in fighting right now. I think Weili's enjoying training. She's traveling the world. She's building her own popularity, her own audience. I think the only way she goes up to 125 if she fights a bigger name like Valentina. Valentina's the bigger name. Don't hate me.
Oh, I don't disagree that she's a big name. I think because there's not a lot of excitement at 115 right now, I think there will be a little push because we need and at 125 there's question marks. Like, I don't think, nothing against Vanoy, but she's not the biggest finisher and that. And when you think if you want someone up against Valentina or
But you have to
Grasso,
remember, women's fighting isn't about being a finisher. Women's fighting is about who can sustain the most damage.
Dolphins scored.
Oh, I get fantasy points.
Yeah, Dolphin. Who?
Devonta Chan.
Okay, there you go.
Woohoo!
I was hoping it was going to be Tyreek Hill there. I wanted fantasy points.
That's touchdowns in 3 leagues for me. Thank you, fantasy gods.
Well, I agree, but when it comes to people like Weili, then she's a finisher.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you there, but I'm just saying women's fighting overall isn't about who the finisher is. It's about who has the stamina to go all night long.
Take a drink. Anyways, we've created good stamina here.
Yes, we
cardio.
are. Drink. Let's do this. Who you got in the trilogy?
I'm going to go Valentina.
I'm also going to go Valentina, you jerk.
Only because I think she makes good adjustments. I like Grasso. Could happen. I think it's going to be, like I said, I think this goes the distance, but I think Valentina's just, she's like how George St. Pierre, he's like, I never make the same mistake twice. I mean, that second fight, she cleaned up a lot, which really, she just zigged when she should have zagged in that first one.
And they've had such a long camp.
Yeah, they have. And they've had enough time just preparing, studying, building to the Ultimate Fighter.
This is like the equivalent of a Game 7. Like, do you understand the magnitude of this? Like, these two women know each other inside and out. Like this is it.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's going to be great.
This is one of the better trilogies, honestly, as fighting goes. Let's get to this. Your main event, Sugar Sean O'Malley and Merab Dvalishvili. This is a fight that we've all been waiting for. I know there's a lot of hype on the Sugar train, but Merab has kind of been a little controversial in the last month leading up to this fight. How do you think that's going to impact his overall performance on Saturday?
I don't think it will. Merab's a very playful guy. That's his humor. It's probably how he deals with competing. Very strong wrestler. Ragdolled Henry Cejudo, which Ragdoll, an Olympic gold medalist. But I was watching Max Holloway's take, I think, today about this fight. He made some good points. One thing about Merab is he sometimes starts late and he gets hit. O'Malley's one guy who has the reach advantage. He has the size, which is a big reason for his success. He's one guy you just can't take those punches. If you don't get that quick shot in, he's not, because Merab's not Jan. You know, and we saw Jan got the takedown, but Jan can strike. Merab
Totally.
is not that guy. He mixes his punches so he can get the takedowns. But if he can't get that takedown, he could be in trouble.
And like
more
you
than
pointed out,
Aljo.
and you pointed this out earlier, is that Sean is very lanky.
Yeah.
So it's very easy for him to like hit those teeps, those long jabs to keep Merab out of his little zone.
Exactly what hurt Aljo. You know, once Aljo broke away and tried to box, I mean, I feel like the only best striker, well, there's three, is Aldo, Jan, and then Corey Sandhagen at 135. And just saying as to accuracy.
But see, here's the thing. When you say Aljo and Sandhagen, I also think of them as really great grapplers too.
No, I meant Aldo. Striking.
Jose Aldo.
I'm just talking about from the striking.
Sorry.
Get the striking, because that's the thing. You're going to have to come in. You're the smaller fighter.
To be fair, Sandhagen's an amazing grappler.
No, he is. But you saw it, Umar Nurmagomedov. Now, that's a nightmare right there if he doesn't get clipped. But that's another story. But that's the thing. Merab he doesn't have that pop. He goes in, and that's why he gets hit a lot. He did even in the Marlon Moraes.
Right.
He kind of takes him to come in to get that takedown. You just can't with O'Malley has that wiry power, you know, that catches you off guard because he does have the timing. And he is a slick grappler. He did submit Takemura Gomi, and if you know fighting, that was a lightweight legend right there.
So we got a 5-round championship fight. These two have been talking smack to each other the whole time. I haven't had a chance to look at the press conference yet, but I'm sure it was spicy.
It's been good.
How do we see this one shaking out? There's a part of me that feels like they're literally just going to be rolling on the ground for 5 rounds.
Well, I mean, I think of that, then Merab's winning this fight. I'm going to slide a little bit to O'Malley. I think he may stop him. I think he may stop him in the later rounds. I just think Merab may get a little more careless because there is a little more tension. And I see Sugar either a hook or maybe a knee.
I'm going to stick with Merab.
Yeah.
Only because I like a challenge. I think if there's anybody who can dethrone Sugar Sean O'Malley right now, it is him. I think he is crafty and creative. I think he's speedy. And he's also very tenacious. And for the record, Sean took the belt away from Merab's teammate.
Yeah.
So Merab's been studying Sugar Sean for years at this point.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely has. But once again, Aljo, strong wrestler, caught. It all fights start, and Aljo has a little bit better boxing, Chris, than Merab. And that's my thing. I would love Merab because he's fun. I think he does when it goes to the ground.
Here's the thing about this fight. Both these men are absolutely fucking crazy.
Yeah, and that's why I think there could be a wild. That's why I think later, because I think Merab may get a lot. He may get it out and then get that confidence and then get loosey-goosey.
If I see a spinning elbow or spinning back fist or even like let's call it a spinning kick, I wouldn't be shocked. Because that is the kind of character both these dudes have.
No, yeah, and this could go the distance. It would be fun, but I don't think Merab has nearly the chin that Marlon does. But, you know, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be a fun night. So, like I said, we are at Maple Landing over by Love Field Airport for UFC 306, a.k.a. the Sphere fight. And we're looking forward to seeing all of you out there talking fights and, you know, hearing your picks and your desires. And fun plug here, if you guys want to play a little fantasy MMA with me, I am on DraftKings. I usually play all the big pay-per-view cards, $3, $5 games. Super affordable, super fun. Try your shot. See how you do.
And also, next Monday, come join us, Thirsty Lion in Addison.
Oh my
Excited
gosh, we are
to be
headed
there.
back to North Dallas. Look at us.
So shout out to Thirsty Lion for having us next week. Oh, man, so much greatness coming up this weekend.
So one note before we go, because we are going to a pub, your girl just spent the last 2 weekends watching soccer.
There you go. Well, what happened?
So Dallas is now home to a USL team, Trinity FC for women. How is this affiliated with the NWSL? I'll tell you. The USL is kind of like the minor league team that kind of builds into the NWSL, and FC Trinity is like a AA team. And so I went to an exhibition game first where they played the women's team from FC Barcelona, and they absolutely shredded them 6-0. And I was kind of like, what did I get myself into? And then last Saturday, they had their official home opener. There was fireworks. There was a lot of pageantry. The mayor was there. I had really great seats, but that was one of the best sports environments I have been in a long time.
No, that's great. I'm glad that they're there. I'm glad that these games are going on.
And it's super convenient. It's at the Cotton Bowl. My tickets, I'm sitting at midfield, third row. My tickets were $30.
Wow. That's a good deal.
It is a really good deal. So if you got any interest in soccer, supporting women's sports, this is definitely the place to be. I'm going to try to get them. I'm trying to get us a media pass, so we'll see how it works. Because
I'm all
I
about
feel like that would be really cool for us to cover.
Yeah.
Be on the ground level of the first women's professional soccer team in DFW. I've already started following players on Instagram. I'm invested. This is my thing now. I got a T-shirt. I got a bracelet. I got a pin, a commemorative pin for the Barcelona game. I'm pumped, and I love the branding. I love the marketing. I'm really excited to see where this goes, not just for soccer, but for women's sports here in Dallas.
No, it's good. Well, check them out, and thank you again to Over Under for hosting us, and be sure to come out this weekend for the UT watch party. Partner with Still Austin this weekend.
Who do they play?
Who does UT play?
I'm asking you.
Oh, well,
You're the one advertising the party.
Hold on. Well, they're here every week. It is the UT. Let me look.
I mean, they just came off that
This is why
dominating
we
win
got-
against Michigan. We don't do any college football,
Oh,
do we?
real quick.
I know SMU was off.
UTSA.
All right, UT and UTSA. SMU is off this week, but we will talk SMU TCU next week, which will be fun. We'll go to the Boulevard. You want to go to the Boulevard with me?
Well, Boulevard.
We're going to Boulevard, and we will share all that fun content, like I said, on all of our socials. And if you can't find us, go to pouringtakes.com. All of our links are there, including our Discord link, so you can talk shit to us. Right, Charlie Van?
Always, always. Well, thank you guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye, y'all.